back, everyone. Another beer review in sunny Walden, or it's hot as fuck, California. Eric, Jose. This
Matching
one,
shirts.
yes, matching shirts. Weirdly enough, you know that's the thing about being brothers. Is just the fact that we sort of think alike sometimes, which is weird sometimes, because we have matching green shirts and black shorts. Which is, it's really weird. Yeah, and it was really weird going and to the store and getting a beer because we're like twinsies, So yeah, Black Market Brewing from Temecula, California, 1945, Berlinger Weiss Sour Wheat Ale. ABV is about 3.8. Kind of like that might be the lowest percentage alcohol like beer I've ever had, maybe.
Yeah. That's an interesting color.
All right, sort of like a pale yellow in a way.
It's like oh yeah. It's kind of it looks a lot golder in video, but it's kind of like a dark gold somewhat.
It's like a dirty yellow in a way, and not in a.
It's hazy.
It looks like it's syrup. Like it kind of has like a syrupy puree. Like if you were to like puree like a mango or something, that's kind of like what it looks like, but it's liquidy. The viscosity is different. So
it smells like a sour, that's for sure.
Yes. When I had this over there, it was just really like, yeah, this is definitely a sour. So talking to the people at Black Market, they're really cool about this one. So
cheers.
Cheers.
Whoa, that is sour, and it finishes pretty clean. It's
too bright.
It's that immediate sour taste, and then it just like dissolves and it goes away. No real aftertaste. It's like
it's
hardly anything.
It's funny because it's got a slight vinegary taste to it, which I like. It's almost like a lemon.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting. It's very zesty. Kind of a little yeasty, a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is just like a flash of sourness, and if it were to linger any longer, I wouldn't like it. But I drink it more because I want that souriness, and then it just goes away. I like it.
It's good, right? And that's sort of like what I thought, because when I had it, they told me that they just, I guess, brewed it. So it was very soury, and then it just like completely disappeared almost. And it was like, whoa. And it's very dry finish.
Yeah.
It leaves your teeth a little bit dry because, it's like vinegary. But
it's like, eating a lemon. Some people do that. And you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And it's still sour, but you kind of still eat it and you still enjoy it.
That's exactly kind of what this is. This is like a really strong lemony beer.
Yes.
And the fact that it's like a sour wheat beer, which was another reason why I was sort of like intrigued.
I like it a lot. It's refreshing. It's like lemon. Finishes super clean.
Yeah.
Kind of light bodied. It's perfect for this weather. I like the color. That must be like the wheat part of it.
Oh yeah.
And I think I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
An eye opener for me. I was actually gonna say this is an 8 for me as well. The only reason I don't give it anything higher is just because we had sours recently with the Temptation. We had the sour blonde. This is a sour wheat Berlinger Weiss. It's not quite the same, but it's up there. It's definitely up there by itself. I mean, unless I have another sour Berlinger Weiss, I have nothing to really compare it to. So it's awesome on its own little section, So for me, this is definitely a good beer. It's an 8. It's 3.8, so it's not you're technically not getting all that buzz. You can't get fucked up on this. We could have had one each probably.
For sure, yeah.
That would have been fine. But it's definitely a good beer, and it actually says on the label in the back right here that the traditional way is, I guess, you get some sort of a juice, like a raspberry juice. It says like if you put a little raspberry juice, You make it into what do they call it?
Mimosa.
Kind of like a mimosa, or aren't they called goose or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, that you can mix it with something, and it kind of like it helps bring out some of the other flavors that you can't really get. So it's a good beer. It's a good, interesting beer. You should definitely try it. Black Market Brewing. Look out for their stuff. They make a lot of good stuff. The brewery collaboration with Smog City Atomic Kangaroo. This is a dry hopped sour ale with grapes. 2 types of grapes. Did I say 3 types of hops?
Something like that.
Something like that. And then dry hopped with Amarillo. So should be very interesting. For some of you that don't know, Smog City is a really great brewery in Torrance, right?
I think so.
I've been there once before and plan to go again eventually.
Not much head there.
Nope. That's funny because I did it pretty much straight. Whatever.
You can smell the hops for
yeah,
sure.
You can definitely smell hops on this one. You get a little bit of that soury note to it.
A little bit, just very faint.
This is a strong golden ale, I think is what they said. That's been soured and then dry hopped. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really golden yellow.
Oh, that does not taste like a sour.
No, it does not. That's a really hot.
You know what?
You get sour towards the end,
Yeah.
and it's really hoppy. Not as hoppy as the IPA, obviously, but it's pretty hoppy for being. This reminds me kind of the Opal.
Yeah, a little bit. It's very. It has that very sour, bitter finish at the end.
Up front, you could taste a little bit of those grapes.
Yes.
A bit.
Up front is the grapes. It does finish like a sour though.
Mm-hmm.
Has that very sour feel on the tongue.
Yeah.
It's kind of very dry. That sour bitterness, but
it doesn't have those that vinegary quality, like that sort of strong vinegar acidity, I should say. Not vinegar tasting, but vinegar acidity. It doesn't have that like how we had on the black market there, the 1945.
Yeah, I think
this one is a little more subdued because of other, I guess other flavors. So
I think the hops for sure kind of messes with that acidity, that sour bitterness, kind of breaks it up a little bit more. I could see like someone who doesn't really like sours
probably
liking
like
this.
This might be a good gateway. That's a good pour.
Yeah, I try to, it has to be sloppy for, these hard to carbonate beers. For us who definitely love double IPAs, this is a very good sour.
It is.
If people who are strictly love the brewery sours, they're more. It's not like, I guess, I'm assuming they would not think that this is a real proper sour.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true.
For them, it's like, how we like hops, we like it to be hoppy or super bitter, super aggressive. And some people are like that with sours. They want it to be like sour juice, warhead juice, like straight up, like half lemons, like that. They like that as the super acidic shit, where you can take out stains out of your shirt or something. Whatever.
Yeah. I think that's true. This may not be a true sour, so to speak, or traditional sour. Let's just say
right,
it's not a traditional sour.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good in between. It's actually a good collaboration, which I was
like
worried about because I guess some people didn't like it.
Yeah.
9.5.
9.5.
9.5 ABV. I guess it just goes to show you, there is, because some collaborations can be pretty bad. I think it's because maybe you have two different views trying to fuse together, and sometimes they just can't. It just goes to show you, when you see it for a good price, fucking grab it.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I really liked it a lot. but I really liked it a lot. It smells, hoppy. It smells great, but I know it's kind of cheating at the same time. It's like dry hopped. It's not a real traditional sour. And the Russian River Temptation was more traditional.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed this. It was just, when I had it, even though it was aged in like wine barrels or whatever,
Yeah.
it just opened my eyes more. It was like, wow, this is very smooth. You can taste it's well balanced, very sophisticated, kind of sour. And this is more like your average man's sour. It's like a hoppy sour. It's trying to convince you it's not very traditional. This is a very good in between,
Yeah,
kind of
and
fake
it's
sour.
funny because I feel like I've had this beer, mentioning the Opal. I feel like the Opal is very similar to this and costs
for
less.
like a third of the price.
Yeah, it costs much less and it's pretty much the same ABV almost, I believe. It's somewhere around the nines. So I feel like, technically you might have overpaid for this, but I mean, is this a beer that's going to be readily available all the time?
No.
Obviously not. It's a one-off. So, definitely try it if you're interested in sort of like what, if you like those weird in-betweens, it's not quite this, not quite that, I think that's what collaborations are, essentially. It's not quite anything. No one's going to be like, oh, let's collaborate, but do the most traditional beer in the world. It's like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
it's all about experimenting. This is a good experiment. I don't really regret getting this.
Neither do I.
It's good. But at the same time, if this was like if they decided to make this a year-round beer or something, I wouldn't get it all the time for sure. I probably wouldn't get it again. But if they made this a year or two, later, I might buy it again.
Yeah. And if you're a hophead, for sure you have to get
Yeah,
it.
pick this up if you're really into the hops and you're kind of thinking about going into the sours or those farmhouse ones. Opal and this would be good. Atomic Kangaroo, which is a good name. It's really nice. I like it a lot.
What did you give it?
I don't think I said anything. I give this. You know what? This is like a 7 for me. Like a 7-8. I'm kind of torn between a 7 and 8 because it's not quite a 7, but it's not. I guess you could say it's like a 7.8 or something. It's almost an 8, not quite there. It's almost getting there. I just feel like I've had something similar to this before. But this is good though.
Yeah.
I can't wait to taste more sours.
It's not. It's a little grapey too, by the way. It's not too grapey.
It's not really great.
Hint of grape.
If you like Pinot Grigios, you probably like some of the flavors that come from here. It's kind of up there as far as like that is concerned, but it's good though. I liked it. So I guess kind of worth it maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, well, as far as the price that we paid, that would probably be the most I would pay for that beer. Obviously, you don't mind paying less, but yeah, that's the most. If I saw this for $20 before tax and all that stuff, forget it. I don't think I'd do that.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so there you go.
Pick it up.
Try it out. It won't last very long. It's a one-off, so probably won't be seen again. But a different version of the same. Cheers, everyone. Good drinking. Stay